Well, beware the AI brides. Take a look at this. You're looking for a life partner, but you find an AI-generated stranger. You trust a marriage proposal only to lose your savings. And before you realize, you've been trapped. You're being blackmailed. This isn't the plot of a cyber thriller. This is a real case that has just been busted in Jhansi. Police have arrested 11 people, including 9 women, for allegedly running a fake matrimonial call center. And inside this call center, investigators say the gang wasn't stealing photographs from social media. Instead, they allegedly used artificial intelligence to create attractive women who never even existed. These AI-generated images were then used to lure unmarried, divorced and widowed men looking for companionship. Victims were first asked to pay a small registration fee. Then came regular phone calls from a woman posing as the prospective bride. And as the emotional connection grew, so did the financial demands. And in many cases, investigators say victims were allegedly drawn into intimate conversations that were secretly recorded for extortion later and were later used for blackmails. Police claim the racket operated like a professional call center with over 41 lakh rupees in suspicious transactions spread across multiple bank accounts that have now been traced down. And what's more, what's worrying is that this isn't just another matrimonial fraud. It marks a new phase in cybercrime. Earlier, scammers stole someone's identity. Today, AI can create an entirely new identity, complete with believable face, convincing photographs and carefully crafted story, which raises some uncomfortable questions. If AI can create a perfect bride today, can it create a fake business and a business partner tomorrow? A fake job recruiter or even a fake political campaign? What do you believe? How do ordinary citizens distinguish between what's real and what's artificially generated? And are our laws, our platforms, our cyber policing evolving as fast as the technology is itself? Let's discuss this with our expert, Advocate Khushbu Jain, cyber expert with us on the broadcast. Advocate, how do you look at this? Can AI make romance scams absolutely impossible to detect? What is one to do in this particular position? Matrimonial websites, I mean, this makes me, warrant a question. Are the matrimonial websites doing enough in terms of verification? This is mind-boggling what's been happening.
You have bought a very challenging issue that's there in the today's digital world that we are living into, where right from making friends to searching for your life partner, to everything has become digital nowadays. We do our banking digital, we do everything digital for every other thing that we used to rely in the physical world. Now the problem that is coming today is because of this and because of so much data which is available online, or so much of digital footprint of ours available online, people understand what are you looking for. And when they understand what are you looking for criminals, it becomes very easy. What they do is they practically have to just give you or spoon feed you something that you desire. It can be somebody who's looking for a bride. It can be somebody who's just looking for a companion. That is a romance scam that you're talking about. It can be somebody just wanting to, have a discussion or a talk with somebody. And these cases are not 1, 2. These cases are in numbers that you cannot imagine. And also at the same time, if you'll see, it has nothing to do with somebody who is educated, who is not educated, who is at what age. It starts with somebody at the age of 20s starting to look for a life partner in a traditional matrimonial way on a digital platform nowadays, to anybody who's looking for a life partner up to 80, 90 or whatever the age group. Practically everywhere, anywhere, right from small towns to big cities. I have had friends who are lawyers who have been duped of romance scams. I have got people who are engineers in tech giant companies who are working over there. I even have reporters who have come to me because of matrimonial fraud that they have looked into. Now, the problem, that pain that comes over here is matrimonial frauds, or these frauds which you're looking at, the romance scam. Here, they play with your emotions so much that you are so weak at that moment that you don't even think of money. You are craving for the person. They practically play emotionally with you in these things. They emotionally connect with you. They talk to you in a manner that you would want them to talk to you. They listen to you. They will talk about those things that you like because they have already done a profiling on you. So much of ours is available online today that it's very easy for somebody to practically...
What these gangs essentially need, Advocate, is that they are looking for a void in their target. So, and it could be an emotional void, it could be a physical void, it could be, the loss of a loved one. And then they're looking for the right kind of bait. So if you have these two things, I think you're the right target for them. It doesn't matter how educated you are. And with artificial intelligence, advocate, it's enabling you to probably draft a better petition for the court, to probably draft a nice letter to your boss, but it's also enabling these cyber gangs as well.
Absolutely. If you see anything which is too good, too perfect in a digital relationship, I'm calling it a digital relationship because till the time you have not met the person, it's a digital relationship, whether romance or a matrimonial or a financial or a business part of it. So whenever you recognize something which is too perfect in that digital relationship, anything to do when it comes to sharing of money or sharing of information or sharing of pictures or sharing of private information, pause. You need to immediately pause. You need to verify. You need to verify from a very reliable source. A reliable source, as in when you have to physically meet the person. You cannot do anything without meeting a person in today's world. You might get an introduction via digital way, connect via digital way, but the moment there is an aspect when it comes to sharing of your personal information, sharing of your personal pictures, sharing of your personal moments with each other in a digital form, either a video or a live calling, or for that matter, sharing of any kind of money in any kind of distress or a need. Even if you have got little money, and when the situation comes where you have to, help other person, then also don't do it. Put a pause. Do not take the money. Do not give the money. Be very, very, very clear on that part. Number one. Number two, again, I'm saying too good or too picture perfect. Pause. It's not true. It can't be true. It's an AI talking to you. It's an AI utilized, script that is talking to you. There can be a scenario where the person you're talking to you is not even the person you're assuming. You're thinking that you're talking to a boy, or you might be talking to a girl sitting there, just having a discussion, and that person might be talking to 40 other people like you as a chat or as a script. So AI will make it much easier. Why? Because it will have
This is
a script
already
talking
so
in that manner.
spine-chilling, advocate. I mean, imagine how easy it must have been for these gangs to really dupe these middle-aged men who were actually looking for some sort of companionship. My question to you again, because we've spoken to you when the WhatsApp case came about, we've spoken to you about other digital arrests as well, and I'm going to ask you the same question, because I think with the advancement of technology, our laws, are they really keeping the speed and the pace up with them? We need to constantly reskill our laws, revamp our laws, because if we are to deal with this advancement and the fast pace of this advancement, we can't afford to be left behind.
See, if you look into the law, we do have laws in place which cover scams. And that's why you see the present case of Jhansi, where, they could bust them and they could put, and there are sections in BNS and IT Act at the same time which can put them behind the bar. But the problem is not that. The problem is about the implementation. You're fighting with technology. You do have laws in place. But the technology makes it very weak or very time consuming, or at times they don't even reach the perpetrator. Here the top matter is about Jhansi. Imagine, I just have to, it can be anywhere in the world. The person is sitting in some small town in France, let's say in Menton, or in any Cayman Island or anywhere, and continue to do so. It will be very difficult for you to, number one, first detect in a real time before the challenge would be to detect. The second is, even if you don't detect and somebody complains and you get a knowledge about it as a law enforcement agency, the problem is to have or to contact them when it comes to jurisdiction, to have extradition, to have implementation. It's a big challenge, especially when law enforcement agencies are bucked with money matters, which are at a these are small ticket numbers. These are more matters when it comes to emotion. I mean, I'm giving you a very practical example of what I'm seeing in my daily life, that they'll be like, there is a 100 crore case, pending with us, or somebody has lost, a crore of money. That's more important, or should we call you because somebody has duped you for little money, and, you yourself gave. I think that's where the problem will come.
That's where the social stigma comes across. So,
Yes.
there is a multi-pronged problem. You have the social stigma, then you have probably the digital arrest and the extortion, because you have those intimate call recordings which you don't want to come to light, and you yourself walked into this trap. So that's where the actual shame also comes across. It's not just about how AI is being used. But my final question to you, ma'am, could these platforms themselves do a little bit more? Can we expect these AI platforms to do a little bit more to prevent these kind of criminal activities? I understand the picture taken from a different source, a voice cloning application that's used separately, all of this combined at a professional lookalike type call center. It's going to be difficult for the authorities as well, but can we expect the AI platforms to do just a little bit more?
See, more than AI platforms, I think we need to see through that any of these platforms which are running, platform for matrimony or for friendship or for anything for that matter, which are in the Indian jurisdiction, I think a regular detection or a check should be done on whether they are registered in India, whether those owners are registered, the KYC is done, whether the bank accounts are opened in a right manner. I think if that KYC, right from banking to registration of that company or a partnership, so that if something is found, we have somewhere somebody to go. I think if that implementation happens, it will be much easier. When you talk about AI, see, we can have AI as put across regulation for AI, that whatever I today create from AI, it should have a watermark into it or a labeling to it, and whosoever has created that, we should be able to reach. But then that's something even our prime minister spoke, and that's something I think the whole world is conspiring together. The entire government of entire world is coming together
First
as
and
to how to
foremost,
fight
we
against.
as human beings, we as, users of this kind of service need to be absolutely careful with what's happening. It's sad that this has happened. It's also great that this entire gang has been busted, but this is not the only gang that is operating out there. So all those pointers, the tips and techniques, the tricks that Advocate Jain here told us, do keep them real close to you. Don't overtly give your information out. If something is happening in a very rushed up manner and it's too good to be true, it's probably, something fishy that's happening or is at play. This Jhansi case, Advocate, is a reminder that in the age of artificial intelligence, seeing is no longer believing. Technology itself isn't the enemy, but in the wrong hands, it can make old scams far more convincing and far more dangerous. That's the AI enabling for the good, for the bad, and for the ugly. Advocate Jain, many thanks for taking the time and speaking to us here on News 9. All right, then, very quickly, we're going to shift our focus to our final segment on the day. And this is another one that needs your attention because we spoke about, had an exclusive chat on News 9. You'll catch that on our Unmissable show as well, where that girl in a Jaipur school took the extreme step, died by suicide because of harassment that was taking place inside a classroom. And a classroom is a particular place that is meant to be for the learning of children, where children and students will make friends, where they will build their own confidence for life ahead, not a place where they carry emotional scars back home. A tragic incident from Bengaluru needs your attention here, ladies and gentlemen. It has once again raised difficult questions about emotional well-being of our children, of our students. A 13-year-old class 8 student died by suicide. Police say the student was questioned over a classroom incident about keeping a nickname for one of those students. And this entire incident played out for several days because investigators have recovered a note which, according to the police, suggests that she felt deeply humiliated because of that incident, because of that interrogation by the headmistress in the school. And her family has alleged that she was troubled because of the same.